Hey folks, welcome to today's Delivery Download. My name is Chris Green, founder and chief exec at ProPMs. So this is for you if you've got any kind of responsibility at all in your role for projects or large programs, from CEOs with big responsibilities for programs through to project managers with just one project, all right? So this is our topic today, become the CEO of your project. Let's get after it now. Right, welcome everyone. Welcome. Become the CEO of your project, right? CEO of your project. That's kind of got one underpinning kind of supposition or foundational kind of thought. And that is that a project is a business, right? A project is a business. And so whereas we might think about projects as being these, these change programs, activities of work, we all know that projects are about going from A to B, right? And we can sort of forget all the theoretical, longer definitions of projects. But what I want to have you really think about in your minds, right, a paradigm is that a project is a business. We spend money, right? And we want a return, right? Businesses want a return for their shareholders. We want a return for our stakeholders. Got it? So a project is a business, period, right? We spend money, we've got to make profit or get a level of benefits, right, if we're an end user. Now, in my role and lots of roles that I've done, I've worked supplier side, delivering to clients, and in that role, we're expected to make a profit when we do that delivery, right? A target margin by way of return. So today's video is about how we can think of ourselves as the CEO of our project, i.e. we're running a business. And it's interesting because I've had lots of sort of more junior project managers and myself in my, when I was younger, sort of wanting to be sort of these entrepreneurs running small businesses. And setting up businesses. And what I tried to say to them was, think of your project as your business, right? That's your primary business. If you can make money on your project as a business, right? Great, good. Use that as your starting point, all right? So what I want to do is go and look at a couple of things. We're going to go old school here and hit the whiteboard over here. So bear with me because there's nothing prepared on that. We're going to do it as we go, but I'm pretty sure it should work out, all right? So let's crack on. Now, what I want you to do firstly is, what I want to think about firstly is the problem, right? So I think there's three sort of problems. Let me just a bit more practice here, Chris. Yeah, should we get that going? Right, so problem number one that I think we've got on our projects is we are not delivering within budget. Right, and when I say we're not delivering within budget, right, we're not producing the margin. So, particularly if we're working supplier side, running projects, then what we need to be doing is producing a margin, can't spell, as a result of delivering the project. And at the beginning, there will be a target margin for, when you bid for a project, particularly, IT suppliers, but not just IT, construction firms, any kind of, marketing agencies, you bid for work. You say, right, I'll do that project for, say, £1 million. Right, well, you do, or £500,000, whatever the number is, it might be lower numbers, but you're doing it with the intent that you're going to make a margin off the back of that, right? So there's a target. And the biggest problem we find is that we're not hitting. So it's not about budget per se, it's more about margin, right? Now, to hit the margin, you need to deliver your project within a certain budget, right? But it's important that as project managers, we stay focused on the profit, right? So we're not delivering within margin. Right, second problem that I see is that projects, are not being delivered to a date. So we're not hitting dates. Maybe that's a better way of saying this. We're not hitting dates. Yeah, we're not hitting dates. So we start off with these project plans. Project plans go into procurement documents. Right, and often very immature project plans go into procurement documents. What's happening is we're not hitting those dates very quickly. As soon as we go into requirements phase, build phases, we're into changing the dates of the projects. That's a real problem. Could you imagine a company, let's say we had a mobile phone. I mean, this is a huge problem currently, right? And it has been with technology moving so fast, is that you you've got to hit your dates to be competitive with your products. If you don't hit your dates, your product is going to be obsolete and it's not going to hit the market at the right time. And it's crucial. We think of companies like Apple and Samsung as they try and get the latest features out on their iPhones, their phones, in particular points in time. If they don't hit their dates, they're screwed. And actually, in some cases, projects, if they don't hit their dates, the project will have to be cancelled because something else will come along. Now, then the third problem I want us to look at here, right, is that in our projects, they're largely chaotic, right? Chaotic. What do I mean by that? We've got sort of lack of clarity. We lack clarity on tasks. Lack clarity on resourcing. People are scrabbling around all over the place. And I know I've sort of done this in shorthand here, but the problems are we're not delivering to margins on our projects. Look at your own projects. If you think I'm simplifying this and you haven't got this right? Look at your own projects and assess, did you know the margin that you were supposed to deliver the project at? And the profit that was to be delivered. Were you hitting your dates? Was that original baseline hit? Right? And thirdly, what was the level of control? Or was it chaotic? Right? And you had to really wrestle that. Did you wrestle that into shape, or were you not able to? Right? So those are sort of three problems I see on projects. And they're sort of a feature of our thinking. And I'm going to tie this back to this thinking about being the CEO of your project. Right? And so here's the possibility. I've got to really hold this phone. Keep trying. A bit of fun. So the possibility, so we talk about not hitting our budgets, but I can absolutely tell you, right, that the possibility is to hit target margin and to produce the profit, right, the originally forecasted profit. That's the possibility. And look at it in businesses. A CEO is responsible for that. A CEO is responsible for hitting that target margin. Okay, sorry about the light there. I shall close the curtains behind me next time. Hitting that target margin. CEOs are responsible for that. So if we put a mindset into that of a CEO, our number one focus has got to be hitting target margin. Because whilst a CEO has got shareholders, a business has got shareholders, we've got stakeholders, right? And the biggest stakeholder has got to be the people that are paying for the project. They want the results. The people that are paying and the people that are paying you to get the results, the benefits delivered, but the people that are paying you individually, personally, are the people largely in your organisation who are expecting you to deliver projects in line with original forecasts. They don't want to be having to make overrun provisions and the like. All right. Now the second possibility, and we're talking about not hitting dates, the second possibility is to define a proper baseline. Right? Define a proper baseline and then hold it. Now that is incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult. And it's incredibly difficult because what's happening is when we bid for work in the first place, when we think about the dates that we're going to go for, we don't put the proper thought into it. Right? So to achieve that possibility, you need proper thought at the beginning. And I'll tell you this, and we'll do this on another video actually, the most important thing you've got to think about getting right is the solution first. And so most plans, when I see them built up, I don't ask project managers when I'm reviewing plans. I don't ask them about what are the tasks, take me through the logic, the critical path. All of that is almost secondary. What I ask them to tell me about first is what's the solution, because I know that if there's a robust solution, technical solution in place, this isn't just IT projects. It could be the marketing approach to the campaign design. Or it might be a construction facilities design, right? Not just architectural IT work, right? If that solution is there and underpinning, then you stand a chance of defining a proper baseline with tasks and then holding it. And then the chaos, the possibility that I really want you to consider is that you can achieve absolute control. Absolute control on your project. And no matter what kind of chaos is ensuing, that control can be achieved. And often we'll hear PMs, fall foul of chaotic projects, right? And really the chaos, unfortunately, is a reflection of their own skills as a project manager, project leader, right? Or SRO on the project. The chaos is a feature of that. Because I know for sure, when I've gone into projects and taken them over, when I've seen other senior leaders go in to take over projects, what you see them do is they bring control. They bring control to the project in a situation that previously had, chaos, they move it to control. So what we find is we go from a situation of not delivering to margin, the possibility you must believe is to hit margin. A situation when dates are not being hit and the project is out of control on dates. It absolutely is possible to reset, get a hold of your solution, right? And then build your plan around that, and you can hold your plan. And to ensure that you can move from chaos into control. Absolutely possible. You must believe that no matter how difficult the project is. So this is how we do, here's some tips on how we do that in terms of the path to achieve those three things. So the path that I want to suggest as an action, critical action for you, for number one to move to a position of hitting margin, what I want you to do for yourself is to have a weekly financial review. And who do I mean that to be with? The CFO? No. Your program director? Maybe, but no. I want you to do a weekly financial review just with you, right? Hold yourself accountable to the finances of this project. Look for the components of the project that are not right financially and see what you can do about it, right? Call out those actions, because there's nothing more annoying than have someone look at your finances and call out things that you could absolutely have spotted for yourself. So the second thing, to help support with the baseline, right? And have a plan that can absolutely be addressed and hit, right? I've talked about the solution. I'm going to suggest two actions here. Two actions. Number one, I want you to revisit and make sure you've got a high-level design. I want you to get your solution manager or the SME, the architect, the person in charge, to describe the solution to you on a whiteboard, right? And just have a session. Say, hey, look, I'm not speed enough on this project. Take me through what that solution is. Sorry, that's item 2A. That's item 2A. And item 2B, to really assist with hitting those dates, and it will go a long way to address the chaoticness and bring control as well. I want you to start running a daily scrum. And again, you don't have to be the project manager to do this, right? You might be in a more senior role and you've got a major program going on and you're trying to get sorted out through the procurement phase with your different suppliers, etc. Right, mandate that there's a daily scrum. And what do I mean by this? I mean a 15-minute meeting. 15 minutes. Check in. Right, what's going on? What are the key actions we are doing today to hold this project on plan? What is absolutely the case is that time gets wasted. Time gets wasted between tasks. And you will be able to deliver your project on time, not by speeding up each task necessarily, although there are occasions when you're going to need to do that as part of your estimating, but actually look to reduce the time between tasks. So you get the control here, right? And you get the clarity of the solution upon as the foundation for the plan to be built upon. Right, and then the third thing I just want to bring here is what you do is you go from chaotic, when things are chaotic, right, and you want to bring control, the way you do that is by changing the context. All right, you change the context. And you change the context by becoming a leader. And you change the leader by changing your paradigm and your approach. and you approach the project by saying, no, it is absolutely the case when I set up and run this business, I am going to hit target margin. Can I make this work? Not quite the best pointer in the world, is it? I am going to hit target margin. That's the conversation we're going to have here with the team. That's the narrative. We're going to hit budgets. The narrative is we're going to hit our plan, right? By better defined solutions and then holding people to tasks and being efficient with our daily scrum, right? And we're going to do that by having this change of context. In fact, doing those things will naturally change the context as you own and step up as a project leader and as a project manager, right? But not just actually the project lead and project manager, also yourself if you're in a more of a business role. You don't have to be in a project professional role to do these things, right? You might be a small business owner and you're buying a new, financial system in your business. No problem. You might not have a professional project manager, but these are some items, some things you can think about to apply. It may well be that you're a chief operating officer in a business, right? Or a business unit head, and you've got some big projects and programs going on that you're delivering to clients. Well, look, these are things that you can absolutely mandate are occurring on your projects and programs. Okay, these items, these actions that I'm talking about, will directly drive the amount of profit you are making. Categorically drive the profit. It will increase the pace, and it will reduce the panic that you have on your projects and programs. All right. So look, hopefully that was helpful in terms of adopting this mindset of becoming a CEO, because those traits, these things I'm talking about, CEOs do this on their businesses. We've got to do it on our projects. All right. Hopefully that was helpful, as I said. And send your comments below. Actually, I think you can comment below with the way we've got this set up. And I look forward to the next delivery download with you soon. Thank you. Bye.